Welcome to the Anime Research Society podcast. Our mission, to explore the depths of anime, the good, the bad, and the absolutely insane. We'll take a look at some of the best and the worst of the season, and give you some of our recommendations to lead you on your research journey. I'm your host, Lisa Mior, and joining me today are my panel of experts. We have Cole Watson.
SDCC be lit, yo. That Brawly trailer? That Brawly trailer.
Yeah, that was a good trailer.
Brawly.
It was... Wow, yeah, it was a good trailer.
It was amazing.
You didn't even watch it, did you?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. You gotta warn me about this before cast so I can watch
The Dragon Ball
these
movie got trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was cool. I'm gonna watch it. Not right now because I'm introducing the cast.
Oh,
So,
well, I'm just sharing
can't.
a moment, everyone.
It's an exciting moment. I'm sorry. I derailed that moment.
That's okay.
I still love you though.
Bro, show still be lit.
You know what else is lit?
Oh, what?
The fact that Preston Dose is here!
Yo, that Broly trailer was lit, yo!
Yo, wasn't it?
It was so lit! God, it was good. It was really good, though. You should see it, Lisa.
I need to watch it. Okay, I'm gonna stop the podcast and watch it right now. Alright, ready, and... Oh, look! There's Remington Joseph! Hi,
Whoa,
Remington!
did you see Brawly though?
Yo, when's Broly?
God damn!
I can't believe I like Brawly now.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
I know, I kind of like him, too.
This is a
So
Dragon
Broly's-
Ball episode.
You guys have to warn me before we start the episode to make sure that I'm on the
Honestly,
same
we
page.
just rolled
No.
with it.
We all do individual research.
Yeah.
The society.
Yeah. And the conclusion that we have individually come to is that Broly trailer was lit! Yeah, go see
Yeah.
it. It's a very good trailer. I look
love
forward to
Dragon
that movie
Ball.
coming out in December. But we have a show to talk about.
We have a
right,
show to
Lisa?
talk about. Yeah. Okay. Are we done with Broly? Because
I
you know what
think
we got.
so.
You know what we got to talk about this week. We have. It's an award show.
Welcome
Yay!
to the
The
awards!
Spring 2018 Awards.
Yeah. So we have another special episode coming at you guys. It's the Spring 2018 Season End Awards. So we're gonna look at this past season and determine the best and the worst, and of course some of our guilty pleasures, as we did last season. If you didn't check out the Winter Award show, it got pretty heated. You might want to check
For the
that out.
worst
For
show.
the worst
Yeah.
show.
For the worst show.
We were all like,
Yeah.
yeah, the best show's alright. Worst show. This is objectively the worst thing I've ever watched. How dare you think it's
Do
not
not
a pile?
offend me with your trash.
I mean, I think we're looking at another battle.
I don't know if we're
gonna be
looking
a
at
battle.
a battle. I think we're gonna look at a battle for best show because I'm looking at our nominees right now, and there's some contention.
So what are our nominees?
Well, hold on a second. I'm just looking at our nominees. There's going to be some contention, and I think for worst show, we're all over the place.
Yeah.
So I don't. I
Yeah.
think we might have like a lot of
I
worst
think
shows.
for worst, we might all just agree, like, these are all pretty bad.
These are
Let's
all
move
bad. Just
on.
don't watch them. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's look at our nominees. So each one of us had a chance to nominate an anime that we were going to pick. So we only have 3 instead of 4 this time because a few of us managed to pick the same one.
And this is for best
for
show.
best show of spring 2018.
You were about to say summer, weren't you?
I was going to say summer.
Yeah, well, that's
'Cause
still
it's
2 months
hot.
off.
Anyway, whatever. All right. So our first nominee was picked by Cole, and it was Hina Matsuri.
Indeed.
A very good show.
That's a really good
All
choice.
3 of my front runners are actually in the awards, thankfully. So there is a lot of good here. But the reason why I chose Hina is because with the other shows, there was always like around episode 5, 6, there was like a burnout period where it's just, okay, I'm going to let some episodes take some time to develop and look into some new storylines. With Hina, no. The comedy, every episode, I was checking in every week. I was just that excited for Hina.
I feel like comedy shows always have a hard time when it comes to giving out awards.
Yeah.
Just because as much as they make you laugh, they don't really do all that much.
But it's also the quality of production of Hina. Like, when you look at the animation, they put so much detail
That is
into
true.
every character.
That is true.
Yeah, this was in my top choice too, so I'm glad you picked it,
Yeah.
and I don't have to argue for it. But I don't think it's the best.
Oh, we're already talking down to me. Okay.
No, I'm just saying I don't think it's the best. It was my choice too, and I had to fight my brain for it. I don't think it's the best. So, all right. So, but it was really good, and it was really funny, and the fact that it kept its momentum all the way to the end of the season was amazing. It's so hard. Like, so many comedy shows
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, exactly as you said, they peter out by like episode 5 or 6. This one just kept, like, there are some honestly, some of the best characters of the entire season came out of this show for sure.
Regardless, I'll meet
Anyway.
you at the parking lot. Okay, fisticuffs.
Whatever. I agree with you. It's just it's not. I have to go with something else. So the next nominee that we have came from Remington, and it was Megalo Box.
Yeah. Okay, so Megalo Box was the one series where I found myself, I had to finish it.
Yeah.
I could not stop watching it. And it surprised me because I thought it was going to end up turning into a 2-season thing, and if it did, it probably would have burned out for me. But it managed to keep its story nice and tight within 13 episodes. And it was just, every character got their time. It was exactly what I was looking for in terms of that hot-blooded seriousness. It was great.
And all of the character arcs really pay off. I
Yeah,
feel.
every character's story is finished. Like, it has a nice pace going, and it doesn't slow down like I thought it might.
Yeah.
It doesn't rush through anything, and you get a nice conclusion. It doesn't have some, like, open-ended kind of story.
Yeah, like, even with me, there was a big worry for, like, Sachio's story.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, he's introduced really early on, but I don't really get his motivations until, like, near the final episodes.
Yeah. And it turned out to be really good.
Yeah.
They've tied it in with everyone else's story really well. And just the overall themes of just, like, pushing yourself forward, working with others, but still keeping your own goal in sight. I really liked it.
It's my contender for best visual for sure. Like the visual of this whole anime, like the animation was fluid.
Oh, yeah.
It just had beautiful environments
Yeah.
and like gorgeous design, character design. When we did the Megalobox episode, I was just kind of like, the story was okay. The characters, I like, as much as I loved the fact that the characters were well fleshed out and stuff like that, I wasn't engaged by the story because I felt like it was a story I've heard before. That was my only problem with it. But yeah, it's another really strong contender for sure. It was just, honestly, if this was in any other season, I wouldn't have probably put it in my top. I gotta say. But this year has been particularly crap. So to me, it looks amazing. So anyway, our last nominee came from Preston and myself, and it was Golden Kamuy.
This is such a good show. Like,
my God.
for me, the thing about it, it reminded me of a classic shonen show almost. But with this typical, like, we go on the journey in this, even though the journey in this case is we gotta skin a whole bunch of people, man. Because of tattoos. But in this first season of Golden Kamuy, the characters are so good. The way that the show is paced is near perfect in my opinion, because it just keeps on going, advancing, and it gives plenty of time for not only the main cast of characters but also like the side factions who are also fighting over the map in the show. And there's just so many elements of it that, to me, they may not be the best of the season, with one exception, the music, which we'll get to later on, but they are all so really well done that the complete package is something that I'm like, this is the best complete show of the season, just by everything working so well together that I don't think there's a weak part of it.
Yeah, and I like that you bring up the side characters, because that's the thing that sold this one for me over like Hina Matsuri or Megalo Box. Because despite what I had said in that episode, I thought I was an extremely strong contender this season. But the fact that we had those side characters and how in-depth they got throughout the entire thing. Like the fact that we get slowly introduced to them. At first you're like, okay, so these are going to be our main antagonists. And then as we go on, we find that they have their own story, and we're actually learning what their own story is. And it's kind of like do you guys know A Mad Mad World? Like that movie, It's a Mad World, no? Where everyone's racing to go get something.
Nope.
No? Anyway, it's got that kind of layered...
I thought you were going to go Mad Max for a
That's
second.
what I thought too, and I'm like, I don't think it's like
It's
Mad
not
Max at all.
No, that would be very wrong. I mean, it wouldn't be out of character for me, guys, but that would be very wrong. No, but anyway, it's the fact that we've got everyone kind of racing to a prize, and instead of just following these one protagonists, we can actually fall in love with other characters. Like, there is no one extremely bad group. except there is kind of an extremely bad group. But the thing is, within those groups, even if there's like an extremely bad like main,
There's justification.
Okay, so crazy guy with the metal head, like he's insane.
Yeah.
He's insane. We'll let it go with that. But the fact that he has like people within his group and there's justification and there's humanity to like literally everybody that's in this, and some extremely likable and dynamic characters are in this whole thing, and it's a great story. It's a beautiful anime. There's like so many different elements that come together to make it my favorite too for the season.
Yeah, I'll agree. Golden Kamuy was going to be my second pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, if I had to give it up to anyone else, it would have been Golden Kamuy, because, man, that story is really good. Like, it is a very much old school shonen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Like, it's
have to
decidedly
respect
not
that.
in terms of the content and the things that happen
Yeah.
in it, but the structure of it is like very much a classic,
Yeah.
like hero goes on adventure for a quest type thing.
Yeah, I would knock it for the CG bears, but still, even with that, it's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't explain away those. We had that episode. We were just like, yeah, we can't deal with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, guys. So now I guess we got to pick a winner.
We gotta
Have to fight it out.
We got to fight it out. So I think me and Preston already have our votes like kind of on lockdown.
We actually dominate. If we
We
were to
dominate.
count one vote each,
That
then
is true.
Golden Kamuy actually
Okay,
wins.
if we're
Yeah.
living in that kind of world, sure.
We're living in that kind of world. But I highly doubt
one
that.
vote, one person, one vote.
I feel like
I will
these-
switch Hina because it seems like it's losing the fight. I will
Hold
join.
on.
It's a third place
I
show
think
for me.
I think we can argue it. I think we can take some time.
Look,
and
you
Are
already
you
argue.
going to
picked Golden
abandon your
Kamuy.
pedestal?
Yeah, I
No,
don't
we're
understand.
not. We're
Would
not
you really
abandoning
leave
What?
Are you
your
a
pedestal
traitor?
I'm
of
not
Golden
gonna-
Kamuy?
I'm not going to leave it.
I will ditch Hina
I
to
will.
join Megalo
I think we can
Box.
all agree
I can
right
work
now
with that.
these are the three best shows of the season.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
That's the
Easily.
thing. None of these are bad picks.
Yeah.
These are all actually great picks for number one. But
So,
I
Cole,
go
are
with
you going to
Megalo
drop
Box till I
Hina
die.
for and join Megalobox?
I'm fine with Hina being the runner-up,
Yeah.
like
I think it's
in a
safe.
third place or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Hina is definitely a very safe third
Yeah.
compared to these two strong contenders.
But for me, Golden Kamuy's the third place. Megalo Box is my second. So I will join Remington for Megalo Box.
Okay.
All right.
I'll enter the ring with
the
Megalo
problem.
Box.
Yeah.
Because my problem is that Megalobox is my number two. If we're looking at this top three, Hina's
Yeah.
firm third for me.
Yeah.
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 How I would say that Golden Kamuy surpasses Megalobox. One, I think overall it has its individual elements that it does better. I think you could also argue the same for Megalobox, but I think that Golden Kamuy ties it together better.
Can I jump in on there? It's not that it's the individual elements I think are stronger because they're more fleshed out than they are in Megalobox. I feel like there's way more depth to them.
You already brought up the side characters,
Yeah.
particularly in comparison to Megalobox, which I also agree with. I think the music in Golden Kamuy is very, very good. There's
Consistently good.
consistently good, because I would say for Megalobox there is one song, like the theme music as he's going out for fighting whatever, that is excellent by itself. But if you were to ask me what's another song on that soundtrack, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a good point.
That's true. I got about 2 or 3. I think they're amazing, and I would
Yeah.
put them
Yeah.
at the
And I
top.
would
But
say-
yeah,
Like
Even
they
just-
fit the mood for that show perfectly.
that's the thing.
Even
They
just
work
the
so well with
opening
that
and
show.
ending to Golden Kamuy are just probably the best music of the season.
Yeah.
Like, respectively.
The only thing that I would give Golden Kamuy over Megalobox is originality. I think
because
Golden
Megalobox
Yeah.
is Ashito no Joe.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously the tribute show. Every time it starts up, it's that 50th anniversary pops
Yeah.
up. So it's obviously doing, it wants to hit that.
I think I would also say that overall, and we're getting into spoilers not just for the first 3 episodes as we've done in like our normal episodes. We're going into the entire thing. I would also say that the back half of Megalobox feels rushed.
I wouldn't say it was
Like,
rushed.
or I shouldn't say the back half. I would say from episode 10 to 13, there's
really
the
what
fight.
detail in
It's
specific.
the tournament
Yeah.
itself. It feels like it goes on for like it just happens. Like it's there's
Well, it is
barely
a
any time
very-
to explore
it is-
stuff.
yeah,
and
yeah,
it is a very small tournament, mind you. But it feels like, particularly in comparison to like the 2 fights that he gets when he's starting out, like when he jumps to 17th and when he fights for 4th place, those got a lot of time dedicated to it, or it felt like they had more time dedicated to it, rather than the penultimate and ultimate fights of the season, which kind of felt like they happened, and there was a fight with Yuri that was just like, I know they've been going for this entire time, but I really would have liked a good chunk of an episode to just be like, hey, or like maybe even an entire episode to just be like, this is Yuri and Joe again. Because it seemed like other fighters had gotten that, and even though they had been developed over the course of the season, it still felt kind of rushed.
Well, see, it almost felt like their fight wasn't really the point. It wasn't so much, oh, let's look at these two fighting. It was more that he got there.
Maybe,
He got there, and we see Yuri strip off the gear.
Yeah. Yeah. It was basically, look, we're back down to our rawest element.
Yeah. It's just man v man.
Yeah, which is why they didn't bother to really show who won, except for like that little word at the very end of just who the winner was. But it wasn't the point of that. It was just, look, he got to his ring, they got to have their fight. And that was the fight that they were looking for this whole time.
And they proved it to the largest audience that they don't need that.
Yeah.
That
was the whole point, because it was a Megalo boxing tournament, but it ended with regular boxing.
The red-hot fighting spirit of two men in a ring.
Yeah.
But I think that was the overall theme of the whole thing anyway, so it makes
that's a good
sense.
combination,
Yeah, but it makes sense. However, we're in it for the Megalo boxing, not for the regular boxing.
I was just in it
I
for
switched
the...
over.
Yeah.
I originally, when
That's-
Joe ditched his gear, I was disappointed because I'm like, oh, I wanted them to get in specifics. I
Yeah.
wanted them to do like what kind of systems he's using, what kind of bolts is in the thing, you know?
I started to admire it so much, though, that he was going in,
Yes.
and especially when he said this line, when he said, every time I go into the ring, I feel like I'm putting my life into my fists. He just puts everything on the line, knowing that could be the end, because he's going in without gear. That made me respect it way more, and I just liked it over. If he had gone in with gear, I would have been like, okay, cool, he's winning because he's the main character, and his gear is really awesome.
Yeah.
But no, he won purely through himself. I thought that was cool.
Now, there was also a thing that Preston said that I'd like to address as well, that particularly with some fighters, they were taking more time with. And specifically, I think the one that you're talking about is like Nambu's protege.
Yeah, Nambu's protege.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with that, but that really strengthened Nambu for me.
It's not that I'm against them doing it. I really like that, actually. Yeah. It's that in comparison to the other fights in the second half of the show, that they didn't get as much time or as in-depth as this protege. It kind of felt disappointing to me, because I was like, they went so much trouble to go through Nambu's protege that after that I was like, oh boy, I can't wait till they do this to everyone else, but it never quite reached that.
I just think as it went on, it became less about the fights every time.
Yes.
That was the point of it, because it was more about the characters and why they were fighting, because we knew that Joe was going to win. After like that jump to 17, everybody thought, oh, he's Gearless Joe, he has that one knockout punch, he wins every time. So it became more about why he's fighting, why everyone else wants him to win, and it was outside of the ring.
Yeah, and this is a good point, but I have to say that the theme behind like the anime there, the theme behind Golden Kamuy's purpose came out a lot sooner, which means that they spent a lot more time fleshing out that theme and diving deep into that theme and diving deep into every character's motivation. The only thing I'm going to say is going to be really hard to compare the two against is that Golden Kamuy had way more time to do it, because they're going into a second season.
Yeah.
In like 2019.
Yeah.
In October of 2019.
It's to get the CGI right on the bears next time.
Apparently.
I know, right?
So I'm like, this is my issue, because like Megalo Box did it quickly.
Yeah.
If they had more time, however, if they had more time, they could have gone more in depth and talked a little bit more about some of the things that like Preston was bringing up.
Well, yeah, Preston would have got to see the longer fights.
Got to see the longer fights.
Yeah.
Got to see more of those moments with those characters.
Yeah.
However, you as Remington, you pointed out that if it did go longer, you would have suffered like burnout.
Yeah.
For sure with this. Whereas I think Golden Kamuy's second season, I'm not burnt out, but I wasn't burnt out by the end of the season. I was excited and really angry that I'm not going to get my second season.
But I think that'll be a test, though. Like, if you like that second season.
See, now, that's the thing. Is this going to be another...
could be a burnout situation.
Yeah. Is this going to be another, like, 2 years of development and then total disappointment once we get it? That's the only thing I'm worried about. However, it's... okay, now, you were Preston, you were reading the manga.
Yeah, I'm caught up on the manga.
And it's pretty faithful to the manga, the anime so far, right?
From what I've seen, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see where knowing where they'll be going in the future. I'm like, I can't wait till they get to this, and then knowing that it's coming out in the wild, it's like, then they get to it in like 2024 if this current pace holds up. But yeah, it's a show that is consistently good, and perhaps it's clouding me somewhat of my appreciation for the anime, because it is a very faithful adaptation in my mind. It is very, very good. But would you say the same of yours, like, because there's the cloud of Ashita no Joe hanging over Megalo Box, remove that cloud from it, like, and this was just an anime by itself, what would your feelings be?
Are we saying if Ashita no Joe didn't exist, or if they just weren't related at all?
If they weren't related,
and you hadn't seen it at all, or anything like that, would you still?
I'm
feel
interested
the same
to
way?
what I'd think about the gearless aspect.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I feel like Ashita no Joe is still kind of like a blur. I haven't revisited it in quite a while. Like, I know of like the peak moments, but I feel like Megalo Box still stands on its own.
Yeah, because it's more about the spirit of it all. It's not because if I could have like when it first got announced, I didn't know it was related to Ashita no Joe at all.
Yeah,
and it still looked exciting to me. So I don't think that would have really impacted it too much.
But by the spirit of it all, do you mean like the spirit of the
themes and behind it, just the energy that comes with those characters, the way that they
like the more of the heart and the theme of the whole thing, the big idea behind the whole thing.
I don't think the fact that it's related to Ashita no Joe really affected that.
See, and that's why I'm thinking, like, in terms of like heart and feeling and big idea, I feel like Golden Kamuy is the stronger contender, because there's so many good themes that it's really attacking really
Could
really
you talk
well.
about them?
Like theme wise,
yeah,
thematically, like I have no problem with the fact that just talking about the exploration of the Ainu, thank you, the Ainu culture, the Ainu culture. Like the fact that they've done that, so like I was just kind of like going back, because when you were bringing in the music, I wanted to know how authentic the music was. I know for a fact they didn't use ancient instruments in it, like it was a Western orchestra, because that's just something I heard. But the fact that they, like, the art director and the composer for the series went back and did the research and met with the historians to kind of do that, and they brought that so faithfully that they were trying really hard to kind of create that education and that heart of like how that this was a point in time where this particular culture was kind of dying off, right? And so like bringing in that kind of that learning and relating it to it, and the idea of like blending the two societies and learning from each other and that kind of stuff, and finding the similarities and common grounds about that, growing as different people, even though you have like a very selfish, turning from really really selfish people to less and less as the series goes on. It's less about the money and more about like the purpose. Like in the last episode where it's a really fluffy episode, but in the last episode where they're the second last episode where they meet the fox girl fortune teller.
I believe that's the final episode.
Is that the final episode?
I believe it's the final episode.
Okay, so when they meet her and they're like, oh, we don't need to go find this gold because we got this girl and she can teach us how to like win at the horse races, like no problem. And the fact that what's his name? Sekimoto is like, you'd ask me at this point, I could go away with this money. I need this money, but I could not ever leave a Serpa. Like, at this point.
This is your number one? You don't even know the main characters' names?
I don't know names to anything.
That is, let's be honest here for, like, Lisa.
I'm going to accept that she just doesn't know names.
She's going to forget the names.
I'm looking for every dirty trick I can.
Yeah, I was thinking it. I'm like, I could totally argue that right now, but no.
I know my least favorite characters of the season. How's that?
Here's the thing, though. Would you guys, and this is going to be controversial, but in the interest of time, would you be willing to accept this as a tie? As Megalo Box, Golden Kamuy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Because these are both... we've talked a lot about the themes and how these shows do very well. And it's very clear that we all love each of these shows.
Yeah, because even going into themes, like your example, I have a direct example with Megalo Box that matches the exact same
thing. But this
thing.
is the thing. They're so similar yet so different. It's really hard to compare the two.
Maybe we just like it because they're so similar. But,
that might be really it.
I think they're both, in my opinion, I like them both because they're very well structured.
Yeah.
I have problems.
And these are both shows that I would revisit.
Yeah.
Guys, I think it's really hard to pick a favorite when we find two incredibly good for the season animes. Because if you think about the last 2 seasons we've been going through, so say, I can't, like, off the top of my head pick a good season. Like, I'm thinking maybe winter 2017 was a pretty strong season. Like, if we put these 2 anime in that season, I don't know how they would stand out as much. They would still stand out, but I think we would be able to pick because we'd had such a frame of reference at that point. I think at this point, we've had so much crap. It's like, they're so good, we can't not let both of them win, kind of thing. Like, it's been such a long time since we saw something really good for the season.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Anime seasons over the years just seem to get weaker and weaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only if you stand
All right,
up.
I guess we have a tie.
All right.
All right, so our ties for best show of the season go to Golden Kamuy and Megalo Box.
Yeah.
Our way of saying Golden Kamuy first.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
I noticed because I would have done it the other
And
way
I
around.
looked you dead in the eye while I did it.
I was like, damn it, she's
Our
going to
next-
list it first.
Our next
Okay.
category
Yeah,
is...
so we're nominating our next categories, our the best characters of the season. All right, Cole, who's your nominee?
It's Hitomi, the golden saint
From?
of Hina Matsuri.
All right, so just
The girl who
fresh-
can't say no.
the girl who somehow becomes the CEO and, like, in charge of so many jobs despite being 14.
Oh, there are so many good moments.
She's
with
the best
Hitomi.
side character in that
She
show.
definitely
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
And she's so, maybe it's like the dry humor of Hina Matsuri there, where it's just like, Hitomi's jokes span like episodes, where it's just setup of, okay, you're getting put into this situation and no one else wants to deal with it, so it's going to be your responsibility. And it's just like, how does she end up being a bartender? She gets blackmailed by the bartender because she's so skilled. And she even goes so far, so innocently, like, okay, let's delete both of our contents on our phone so we don't have to blackmail each other. And she's the only one who does it. Because she thinks that there's good in people, and there's not. She's dealing literally with the Yakuza here.
I don't know if I don't think it's like that she thinks there's good in people. I think it's just her like extreme naivete.
Yeah.
And
I
she's
would
just
agree with
like,
that.
I don't even know what to say. I'm so taken aback. I guess I'm just going with it because I have
She
to.
has my favorite scene in that show, and perhaps the season, of when her teacher comes to the bar.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
is like,
Comes up with every reason possible.
to why it can't be Hitomi. It's just like, no, a 14-year-old girl won't work here. And it's just going through the list of to try to justify, like, no, this is Hitomi, but it can't be because of these reasons.
And he
Like,
just starts testing her.
increasingly out there reasons and justifications to be like, no, this can't be true.
No girl
I
this
love
age can make that good of a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
It's just that everyone's justifying her all the way around her. Like, I think the best example, though, that is an amazing scene, but I think the scene where she meets all these businessmen in the bar, and then they're like, you're such a hard worker, Hitomi, why don't you come and work for me? And then one day she's like working at an office, and she's like putting in place office bullies, and then all of a sudden she's like working on construction, and she's literally doing like 10 different jobs, and then somehow she gets talked into by the bartender, who is probably the worst person of the entire season because of her horribleness.
Utako-chan.
Yeah, the fact that she gets talked into buying an exorbitantly expensive apartment.
200,000 yen a month?
No.
That's the cheapest I can get.
It was half price at
Yes.
200,000 a month. And the fact that, like, and then she throws this party because she has not slept in, like, literally a week.
Well, the whole setup for that was that her mom thought she was hooking.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, you're selling your body. Why are you out so late? You're not going to a friend's house. And then her whole thing is, okay, I'm getting out of home. I'm doing all these jobs. I have my own place now. I'm going to invite mom back so she can bail me out. See, this is the proof. And her mom, the whole joke of that episode is like, honey, I could never find you contacts this good. Keep doing what you're doing. Mom's proud of you, but also kind of scared. You're kind of a freak, Hitomi.
She had such a great arc throughout the entire season.
Yeah. So that's my favorite character.
Yeah, it's a good choice. Preston, who is yours nominee?
Mine is also from a comedy, more of a slice of life, but it's pretty comedic. Mine is Narumi Momose from Watakoe, Love is Hard for an Otaku. I picked her primarily because Well, a good portion of it was because I find her absolutely hilarious in every single encounter of her trying to both avoid showing that she is an otaku and in her attempts to be, like, and her interactions with everyone else. But I also picked her because I really relate to her. And I relate to all the characters in Watakoe.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite shows of the season. And it's a bit, I just see myself in her, so it's my pick for her is more that I relate to her and what she does, like when she's staying up late drawing manga for a festival. I'm like picturing myself, like, even now to the day of being like, yep, I guess I'm staying up till 3 a.m. because I need to write 5 articles today. So let's get on this, because I procrastinated it again.
Were you listening to Sailor Moon music? Just like her?
No, I was listening to other anime music. I like fairy tale music. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna admit that.
To be fair, fairy tale music's alright.
Yeah, fairy tale music.
Rock City Boy. I'm all about
The
it.
OP's very nice.
Yep.
Yes, the OPs are very good. The show, but
Throw it in the trash.
yeah, I really like. And this is more for the cast in general. I think it's one of my favorite cast of the season because I can just see myself in each portion of it. That's a show that I just relate to on a very personal level.
Yeah, its characters are very realistic.
And I could pick either of the 4 main characters for this, but really I relate most to Narumi, and that's why I picked her.
Well, don't worry, I got your back because my pick was, oh man, here we go, ready to butcher a name? So my pick was Hirotaka Nifuji.
Oh, another Watakoi
You got it.
character.
I got it. Yeah, another Watakoi character. So this is he and Narumi eventually start dating. They're childhood friends and stuff like
Episode
that.
1.
In episode 1.
Eventually.
What? That's a long time for some.
20 minutes in. Yeah.
Anyway. Hey man, they were childhood friends. That's a long time. They eventually
Oh,
start
you
dating.
include all that time. The prequel series we don't have yet.
Yeah. She imagines the prequel in her head. She's like, man, this has been a long time coming.
And that's why this guy is my favorite, because I was able to picture their childhood just from the very short scenes that they had and the love that he carried for her kind of thing. But it's more than that. The fact that he became his own person and he tried all these things. Like the whole scene about him trying to become an adult and piercing his ears when he was in his late teens.
Oh yeah.
That story kind of sold me for him, because it's just he was always just into this one thing. He only wanted to do his one moment, and then he realized there's points I got to kind of get out of the shell, and I can relate to that entirely. There's stuff that you're like, okay, I've done that, now I'm done. I'm going back to who I normally was, kind of thing. And I love that, and I love how frank he is. There was no pretense about the fact that he wanted to date Narumi the whole time.
Yes.
He was forthright about it. She didn't get it, and he didn't understand that he didn't articulate it properly. And he kind of reminds me of somebody I know really who does exactly the same thing, whose name will remain nameless. But that, I think. So I could go with could totally also go with Hanako, and because she was awesome, and I want to be a girl like her, but I don't want to fight like she does all the time.
See, that's the character I think I most rate too.
Yeah, I loved her. I feel like I'm her essentially, but but that's I loved all the characters. I can't pick one. I'm sorry, guys. I can't pick one.
I'm about to drag Narumi with my next comment because
go ahead.
I'm just remembering this. I also relate to another thing that Narumi and I have in common is that we're both flat-chested.
Boo!
What a ball!
Yeah.
Wow, she just lost.
Anyway, Remington, who did you
drag?
So my best character, originally it was going to be Nambu from Megalo Box, but when I thought about characters who I related to so much, I ended up thinking of Subaru from Space Battleship 2 Pubic Hair Boy. So as an extreme introvert, all the embarrassing things, I related to him a lot. So his cockpit.
Have you seriously tried to dip a katsu stick into a water bottle?
How many solutions
His
were there,
cockpit
Remington?
is basically my room.
How many pubic hairs are your friends?
No, not even that. How many
I
solutions?
have.
How many times do you walk out
Did
with
you
your
get
shirt
naked and
turned
this is the
inside out?
solution to the problem? Yes, just
Yes,
everything.
just yes, all
Do you
the
have a
time.
random middle-aged woman decorating your cockpit?
I do not like when people touch my stuff. When people move my stuff, I get really frustrated. I do not like it.
As he's talking right now, I'm taking the cables from his headphones.
Yeah,
and moving it.
I don't like it.
What if I put it on your lap?
No.
I'm sorry, Remington.
But yeah, in all of those small ways, just like whenever he's in his cockpit and he's like, "This is my sanctuary, this is my private space,"
Yeah.
I'm like, "This is me when I get to my room." I sit down in my chair, which is a lot like his, and I'm just like,
You turn on
I'm
the PC,
away from everyone.
There's the Gundam boot up noise.
Yeah, I take some small foods with me, and I'm like, now I'm good. And then I make a mess, and I get really scared and anxious about it. And I'm like, oh no, this is how you get ants. I do not like it.
No, ants
Okay.
in my cockpit though.
So I gotta say something.
Yes.
Only until like, okay, I get how you relate to that aspect of him, but he does some really like jerkwad type things towards the end of the season, and you are kind of one of the nicest people I know, Remington.
See, when people say I'm nice, I get really happy because there are a lot of people who would disagree with that.
No!
I get that too. That I'm like,
I mean, we
Yeah.
all get like that
Yeah.
in general.
Oh,
Yeah.
guys, I know I'm a jerk.
I'm just
I
like,
know I'm an ass.
I'm just like, man, that is the opposite vote of so many other people. Because whenever like the other people on the ship would come around him and like they'd be all friendly and he's just like, and he would get so frustrated.
yeah, like the old lady who washes his mech and stuff.
Yeah, and like he just hates it. I'm just like, I understand that feeling a lot. I get like when somebody's over friendly with me, I'm just like, I want to get away from this as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Like I get a lot like him. Like I've toned down definitely because now I'm an adult and I'm not allowed to act like a teenager anymore. But I understood it exactly. I'm just like, man, that was me. That was me through all of school. I was just like, stay away from me. I want to go to my private space so I can eat by myself because I don't like people seeing me eat. That was me.
Okay.
I was
I
an
understand.
extreme.
Okay.
I think, with the exception of Cole, the theme for best character
Is
being
relatable.
Yeah.
And I don't think
Yeah.
you relate with the 14-year-old girl who's a bartender / CEO / construction worker.
Little
/
do you
all
know.
He does.
Slash
He
possible.
does.
And that's why I would jump ship. As much as I love the characters from Wotakoi,
yeah.
I would jump ship for Hitomi because there's so many memorable
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
she's the
I
most
think-
refreshing character we've seen in
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Hitomi. I would jump ship for Hitomi too.
Yeah.
I really.
No one's going
like,
to though.
Yeah.
No, I am.
Oh, okay. Hey, Toby.
Dude, I am jumping ship because even though, like, on a personal level, I really relate to Narumi and the things that she does as a general whole, I think that you're right. Then your arguments for Priga and then talking about the seeds made me remember, like, I forgot about that bit
Yeah.
with the mom. Yeah, Hitomi's the best character for me. I'm jumping ship for that.
Yeah, I'll jump ship.
Yeah,
for
I'll jump
Hitomi.
ship. Because my relation to Subaru doesn't mean I like him as a character.
Yeah.
It just means
That's the thing.
I hate myself.
yeah.
I don't like him as a character, and I'm sure you have
Yeah.
the internal struggles of him, but you're a way better person than
Aw,
you're a
thank
way
you.
better person than Subaru. Look at this, I'm being really nice to you today.
I
What
know.
what the heck is wrong with
It's because he showed up early.
Yeah.
Hold on, we haven't gone to worst show yet where we'll hate
Yeah.
each other. But
Yeah.
before we get into worst show, we have one more best category.
All right, guys, I have some bad news. It's time to get into the
You mean
worst
some
of the
great
season.
news?
Yeah, it's great news. I mean,
Oh man, just like talking trash about these shows are just
you know
gonna
what?
be.
I feel like we'll easily pick the winner for this one now that I'm looking at this list because like two of us have picked ones that none of us have watched.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just really want to harsh on them
For
bad.
the sake of diversity.
How about we
Yeah.
start with those ones?
Let's start with
first?
those. Cole, do you want to start with yours? Because you picked one that none of us have watched, and I
'Cause I
kind of
looked
thought
at
you would
it.
like
Well, no,
it.
you picked one that I've watched, but I know it's not going to win because nobody's
You
watched
picked one
it.
that I looked at and I was like, this is going to be complete
Yeah.
trash, and I didn't
Now
watch
here's-
it.
I was almost
Here's
gonna
the
pick
thing.
this one to watch sight unseen just because I thought you guys might like it, and I'm like, whatever. There's fighting and stuff. They probably like it.
No, no.
Oh man.
So this is Fist of the Blue Sky, Regenesis, which is based on... It's basically a prequel manga to Fist of the North Star. Before the apocalypse happens, this is what Kenshiro's doing. You know, he's a professor. He's teaching people like Hakuto no Shinken. And in the manga, it's so cool. In here, it's CGI hot trash garbage. Throw it out. I'm sick of it. I only could bear it for 2 minutes because it's running at 2 FPS.
what's the worst
Okay,
scene in
hold
it?
up. So the anime, like the thumbnail for the whole thing, like that you see all over, there is no CGI in that
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it's
Where
complete-
does this CGI come from?
It's complete CGI.
Okay. All right.
What's
anyway.
the worst scene in it?
Yeah.
The worst scene?
Yeah.
Seeing Ken. And it's just like he's wearing this thing. He's called like Wang Kang or something.
So is it true that the characters' necks are thicker than most people's waists?
Oh yeah. Yeah, like if they were to JoJo pose with those characters, those necks would probably like giraffe out.
Man,
I
that
hate
sucks.
this show
That's like really just disappointing.
because I was actually
Because it fits the North Star, and fits the
Yeah.
North Star's
Yeah,
great.
but
I
also-
remember being excited for it.
I've read Blue Sky and
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. So when this got announced, I'm like, oh, I'm actually really excited. And like Lisa says, the first thing you see is the key art image, and it's not CGI; it's
Yeah.
hand drawn.
Yeah.
I was
So when I
thinking
got
that
into the
we-
show, I'm like, what the hell is this? There's only like 3 models in the first 2 minutes, and it's just generic business guys wearing top hats. And then Ken kills them. I'm like, no, I ain't going through this.
That sounds really bad.
It sounds so funny though.
Oh,
It just
so-
sounds really bad.
I would love to do an abridged series of it.
Maybe we'll do an R's reads of that. I think.
Ours reads.
Yeah.
God.
Stay tuned, guys. We're gonna start R's reads like in 2024. I don't know.
ASMR reads.
ASMR reads.
Now, Lisa, you also watched a show that
Okay.
none of us have watched.
Guys, just don't. Okay. Only started watching it because it was put on in my house without my permission. I did not give consent to watch the show because it looked bad from the thumbnail. It was worse once they started talking. It's a show called Dances with Dragons. All right.
Not the George R. R. Martin book in the Game of Thrones series.
Unfortunately, no, because that would have been better. I don't know. I haven't read it.
Possibly.
Possibly
Possibly.
better. I don't know, guys. Okay, so seriously, it's to distill this whole thing. It's a buddy cop comedy drama action, like extreme gore action.
I would not have got that from the
Yeah,
title.
no, but this is the thing. It's supposed to like the tone is all over the place with the story. Like sometimes it's just ridiculously like they're trying to be really funny with stupidly bad jokes, and then all of a sudden someone's arm gets ripped off and they get beaten over the head with it. Like it's ridiculous.
Jeez.
So anyway, I'm gonna read you. I can't retell the synopsis. All I can tell you is that every character in here is completely unlikable. None of them have a redeeming quality, and every time they do, it's immediately negated from something they do. The main character is like this gross womanizer who I guess we're supposed to feel sorry for him because he keeps alluding to some reason that we should be feeling sorry for him, but he never actually says why we should be sorry for him, and we never get a flashback, and it's just really stupid. So our main
brain
character,
aneurysm.
Gaius, and his angry furniture fetishizing partner Gagina.
Gagina. Get off the couch, Gagina.
I had
you say
to remember
furniture fetish?
furniture. He has an obsession with furniture, and I think that's supposed to be funny, but it's not. So anyway, and like they have this like one guy's messy, the other guy's clean. One guy loves his women, the other one sticks with honor. Like it is so
The other guy
stupid.
sticks with furniture.
Oh yeah, okay. So anyway, this
Get off
whole
the couch, Gagina.
this whole
My
world
girlfriend, the couch.
This is so bad. It's so bad. The whole world revolves around this system. I'm thinking it's like magic, but according to the synopsis, it's totally not. Or it is. I don't know. It's called Jushki. So they're Jushkiists. Try saying that.
What is with these names?
They say it like every 5 words. They say the word
Jushiki.
Jushki. No, Jushki. That's how they
Really?
pronounce
That's how they say
Jushki.
it?
Yeah.
That's
Jushki.
stupid.
Damn it, Gagina.
Yeah. It's, okay, so anyway,
I'm still wowed
I'm
by
going to read
that
the
name.
synopsis because I couldn't retell this story if I tried. Jishki, a system for reproducing natural phenomena and paraphysical acts such as the creation of matter, allowing humans to wield a power which they once feared as magic. Its mastery has brought advancements to all fields of life, while facilitating the experimentation of the once rampant dragons and others. I don't know who these others are. I'm sure they introduced them in the series. I have not seen who these others are. I think they are humans. Or elves. There are elves here, but we never call them elves, so I guess they're the others. Anyway, Gaius and Gagina. I'm reading this wrong. No, see, that's how you say his name, but it does not look like... That's not the spelling. You're looking at it right now. That's not the spelling.
I want to change my worst character to Gagina.
2 combat-type Jushki wielders run an office in a chaotic frontier town called Eridana. who cares? There's like a million made-up words in this thing. And make a living using their art to solve problems and collect bounties. So they're bounty hunters, and they go at each other's throats all the time because, like, buddy cop nonsense. And one day a dragon hunting job falls into their laps, but it's the start of a deeper plot. Guys, they make up this plot as they're going along. I swear to you, there is, like, no continuity between one thing. There's, like, they introduce, like, towards the end of the series, they introduce this big bad who apparently we should have been aware of since the beginning of the
this?
Oh, yeah. I told you.
You always finish bad things.
I live in a small house, all right? So when this is put on, I can't avoid it, all right? So, like, they introduced this big bad. Apparently, they knew about it since the beginning of the season, but we never heard about it until, like, episode, 11? I think there's 12 episodes of this whole thing. Yeah, episode 11 we find out, or 10, we find out who this guy is, and he immediately dies. It's really stupid. And he dies off screen.
Brilliant.
Guys, okay, it was just, guys,
so
everything
this is a bad
about
show.
Everything about this was terrible.
Yeah.
Don't watch this.
Okay.
Do not watch
Cool.
it. It's my worst.
You want to know what you should watch because I enjoy torture?
All right, Preston, you watched.
Gundam Build Divers.
Oh, God. All right. One of us had to bring it up, okay?
Yeah.
So why is Gundam Build Divers the worst? Why is it worse than Fist of the Blue Sky Regenesis and Dances with Dragons?
Because none of those are product placement. And the reason why, and it is not just product placement, the TV show, it is failing at product placement. It's both failing at being a TV show and failing at being the thing it was designed to do. Because the show seems to think that, hey, you know what? Let's encourage a bunch of 14 and ups to, like, build Gundams when you can probably build Gundams when you're 6. I checked the box that I have in my house. It says for ages 6 and up.
Yep.
But they're just like, wow, I've never built a Gundam before. You're 14. You probably should have done this. Your parents are, like, either lying to you or non-existent.
Maybe they mean you can only pilot one when you're 14.
But yeah, exactly.
That makes so much more sense.
That makes so
Now
much
I'm
more
trying
sense.
to think
but
of, like,
also
how old
there's
Amuro was.
But also there's scenes where they're building and they're like, I've never built a Gundam before.
Oh, yeah.
Gunpla, sorry guys. But aside from the being horrible at product placement by highlighting Gunpla that are actually really, really ugly and non-exciting in the slightest.
Buy your Gym 3s by the boat.
This show is the show has a cast of characters who I'll get to later that are probably among the worst. I hate every single one of them so much because none of them, everyone is either a walking cliche or completely non-existent. Looking at you, Yukio, Mr. Best Friend, why are you here? Your literal personality traits are, I'm the main character's best friend. And that is it. Like, I feel like if I call them one-dimensional, I'm going to be offending citizens of Flatland. So I'm not going to do that. Everything. The fights are bad. The music is trash.
The music is so
trash. Oh
so
my
bad.
god. It has a
Diver's
dude named
Eye.
Tiger Wolf that Cole keeps on calling Wolf Job, and I have to correct myself when I Google it for, like, images
You
to
actually
later.
type it up as well.
I typed it as Wolf
Hey,
Job.
Preston, you were here with me last week. It took us a really long time.
And then I kept on
because you
thinking it
could
was
not
Wolf Tiger,
Yeah.
and I couldn't remember. It's a blue wolf from Gundam Build
It
Divers.
took us a long time to find that
The things
image
the show
because of what you
fails
were
at are
Don't
numerous.
Google Wolf Job is what I'm trying to say here.
The things the show fails at are numerous, and it fails spectacularly that I can't help but watch this. I watched a lot of this because I'm like, I have a fascination with watching train wrecks, and this is a train wreck that has no casualties except for the Gundam brand, so I'm okay with this.
And the people who hopped on.
It was,
Me, the staunch defenders.
Yeah, you literally watched all of it, and I still...
I don't understand.
How did you get through all of it? I got through like the mandatory 3.
Yeah.
and that was hard enough.
I am a mech addict.
Big bro!
Okay. Bruh! Let's go, nibbies!
I was.
Okay.
Maggie the
I
pervert.
want to find it in English, and I was really hoping Funimation was going to stream it this season
They don't have the budget for that.
because that would have been amazing.
But-
I would love to see the voice actors doing that because that would just,
It would
they
be
were bad
Ico-
enough.
it'd be
it was
the
bad
I-
enough.
It'd be the Ico reincarnation crew doing their second round.
We need to all watch that because I haven't watched it and I know it's really bad.
Yep.
Anyway, but yeah, no, Gundam Build Divers, Preston.
That's
Yeah, it's a
It's
horrible,
bad.
Pick for the
horrible
worst.
show.
That's a good pick for
that's
the
a
worst.
very
good
pick
I
for the
honestly
worst.
thought all of us were going to pick that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We dug deep and we found worse.
I'm going to offend myself with what I do soon, but Remington, what's your pick?
What's your pick?
So mine makes me feel bad now because Lisa's been so nice to me today. But I can never forgive her for making me watch
This is the second season awards in a row.
Kakurio Bed and Breakfast for Spirits.
I will give you that.
I hate it so much. It was so painful to watch. And I think the most painful thing about it, and this like gives you a hint at who my worst character is, the main character. She sucks.
Yeah.
Like she sucks and I hate her. I wish she would go away. The show would still be bad. It'd still be terrible. But it would be better without her.
Yes.
Every character's situation would be better without her.
It would literally everything in the show would be better without this character.
Like,
She
I'll
is the
reveal-
cause of all the problems in every anime ever.
I will reveal my worst character is also Aoi Tsubaki of Bed and Breakfast Spirits because her grandfather should be the main character.
Yes.
With how many flashbacks he gets.
He sounds so fun.
Yes.
I watched that anime over this one, and I feel like there should have been one,
Yeah.
but there wasn't. You know, Remington, I don't blame you on this one. Like, when we were going through our guilty pleasures, I have to admit, I finished watching it only because I hate my life and I hate myself, and I need to, remind myself on a weekly basis how much I hate myself.
She just like slaps her arm. She's like, badly so
Just
bad.
like,
Bad for living.
you're awful. Watch some Kikurio Bed and Breakfast Spirits.
I accidentally, because the show actually put me into a little bit of a TV coma, as I like to call it, where I watched the mandatory 3 episodes, and then I didn't get up from the couch, and I ended up watching 6 episodes.
Oh,
because
my
I was
God.
just like, what is this? And it just was like, the fight scenes. Oh, man. The fight scenes are something special in that.
No, okay, I figured it out.
In that, I'm pretty sure Berserk 2016 had better fight scenes.
You know what? I think,
Tengu fan.
guys, seriously,
Oh my
I think, what was it? My Love Story had better fight scenes.
Yes.
It did.
Like, okay, I finally figured it out by the time I got to
The
the end of the
CGI
season.
bear in Golden Kamuy was a better
Fight
fight
scene.
scene.
It actually was a pretty cool fight.
Yeah, it was a cool
What about Death March?
but
Death March
anyway.
fight scenes, anyone?
No.
Don't mention that.
I thought we were hiding that one. That was the name of the anime we will never speak of ever again.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, I figured it out why this anime is so bad. It's because literally there is no consequence to any of the problems. Like, okay, so they leave towards the end of the season, they start leaving things on cliffhangers. Like, oh my god, she got kidnapped. She's immediately rescued, like, 2 minutes into the following episode. And nothing ever happened again. And it's like, that formula repeats every single episode. And I'm like, why? You had an opportunity to grow here, but you totally didn't. Why?
Well, yeah, I mean, in general, there's no reason for this story to be happening.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't have to talk to any of these people. She doesn't have to do any of this. She just chooses to do it.
She can just leave. She
Yeah.
left at one point.
Yeah, she could just leave, but she keeps going back.
And she has no incentive
Thirsty.
to go back. Yeah.
It's for the good anime boys. That's why she goes there.
The mediocre anime boys.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, when Lisa calls
Yeah,
mediocre.
then you know they're bad.
Jeez, wow. That's low standards there.
Like, Lisa accepts swords as anime boys.
That's like a trash.
Boys!
That's like a trash boy by anyone else's standards.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, that
it's
is-
a good pick.
Yeah.
It's a good
So
pick.
how do we pick a winner for this?
I have no idea because I
I-
can't in good conscience actually pick yours as the worst because I'm still watching it.
I
I
am-
started the second season already.
Yeah, you have to
so
shamefully
I have to
side with
shamefully
this.
side.
I will offend myself. I will put the knife into my heart. I am jumping ship to Gundam Build Divers is the worst show ever. Get it out, it's hot trash.
I don't know, guys. You heard my recant of Dances with Dragons.
No.
That was really bad.
I'll inflict that pain later. But this one is every week.
Yeah, I mean, Gundam Build Divers just makes
24
me really
episodes.
sad.
24
Gundam
episodes.
Build Divers made me really
Wait,
sad.
does Gundam
Yeah.
Build?
Like, that was
does that
a
mean we
depressing
could
one.
pick Gundam Build Divers for worst anime of the summer 2018 season as well?
Yes.
Oh,
See, that's
yes.
the thing. But we can do the same thing with Kikurio Bed and Breakfast Spirits.
How is that getting another season?
It's got another. Oh, it's already started, honey.
How?
Honey.
What?
Oh, it's already gone.
No.
Because now she's not in like I don't even know the name of it. She's not in like the ogres inn anymore. She's in like where the
Another
fox
pretty boy's
guy.
in?
The fox guy
Oh,
that
the fox?
rescued her,
Yeah.
like right off the bat, that she didn't recognize for 12 episodes, even though he blatantly like did it right at the first episode. But whatever. She's now at his old place, and she was kidnapped by the girl with the ball.
What a soap opera.
God, I want someone to just like.
I hate it.
I don't know, man. I can't pick between the two.
Can we pick
I
it just
can't-
because it got a second season?
Yeah, I want to pick it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll concede.
Yeah, I'll concede
Also,
to
it
that.
has the worst music of the entire season.
Ugh.
I mean, all of it's
No,
just...
that I'll
it's
tie
not-
with Build Divers.
Ugh.
Bill Divers is
Bill
bad.
Divers just has a
but-
really offensive
okay,
intro.
no.
That's the problem.
Okay, Bed and Breakfast Spirits music, it's like bad, cheap karaoke.
Okay.
That's what it is.
We have.
Really bad.
If we can agree that Kakariko Bed and Breakfast for Spirits is the worst anime of the season, we now need to get into another fight for best character. And fun fact,
character.
Worst character.
worst character, best character, who knows? Best new character is Peach-N, by the way, from Gale Alternative Online. Yeah, that's not a category, but I'm just declaring it right now.
I'll hold you to that.
Worst character is also, funnily enough, really divided between Gundam Build Divers and Bed and Breakfast for Spirits.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be
I don't know,
exact,
man. It's not that divided.
to be exact, Preston chose everyone in Gundam Build Divers as the worst character.
That entire cast is unredeemable, and I want them all to fall into lava and die.
I picked a different character. I mean, I have, like...
Which offends me.
Yeah, you picked a character I did not expect at all.
Okay, honestly, it's not the writing, and I couldn't in good conscience, like,
You're just
actually go with
trying
this.
to like pad
No,
this
no,
out as
hold
much
up.
as you can
Hold
before you
up,
turn them.
hold up. It's not, like, it's because... Okay, I picked Hina because I just don't like her. She's a
Hina
brat.
from Hina Matsuri.
Hina from
specifically.
Hina
Yes.
Matsuri.
No.
She's
I
just
don't
a
agree
brat.
with you. No.
I'm
She's
not
so
gonna throw her in the
cute.
ring, but I hated her so much, and I liked everybody else in that. I
When
just
you
hated
hold
You're gonna
your
make Cole
adopted
cry.
father a funeral that doesn't even need to happen because he's still alive.
She was just. I don't like. She's just a brat, and I just didn't like her.
You're gonna make Cole cry.
I'm sorry, Cole. I didn't like Hina. I liked literally everybody else. I just couldn't get into her.
No.
Couldn't get it.
I loved Hina.
But anyway, she's not my real pick. So
Oh.
yeah,
It's your real pick.
Aoi from Bed and Breakfast
Ah,
Spirits
well,
because she's
yeah.
a non-existent
I mean, yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So basically, and Cole, you picked
I picked
Aoi as
Aoi
well.
as well.
And
Yeah,
you
me
picked
too.
Aoi as well. So we have 3 for Aoi because she's literally a
she is
non-character.
bad.
Yeah.
And one for everyone.
Everybody in Gundam Build Divers. The entire cast.
This is tough, man. We gotta fight every character.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, there were a lot of... Because I almost chose a Gundam Build Diver character. Because there were so many specifics who I hated. I hated Yukio. I hated... what's his name?
I did too.
Maggie.
Wolf Job.
Wolf
Job.
Job.
All right.
Momo.
Even the main character I hated. I did not like any of them.
Because he
So-
was generic and was a
Wasn't there a
non-personality.
frog?
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw a frog. I told you guys, I'm still not watching this entirely. I'm just gonna watch it in my peripherals. Okay,
Oh, no.
Can we say that for worst character, everyone in Gundam Build Divers wins? Because we kind of want that to be our worst anime.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Aoi was bad, but at least she wasn't everyone in Gundam
Yeah,
Build Divers.
that's the thing. When you have an entire cast...
And there was an
Okay.
Aoi in Gundam Build Divers.
There
And
you go.
Sarah.
Oh, there you go.
God,
Yeah.
there is
All right.
no-
So our worst show was Kikurio Bed and Breakfast Spirits, and our worst
For
character
getting a
was
second season.
yeah, for getting a second
Yeah.
I'm offended by that. How did it happen? There are so many good
No, it just
shows that
didn't
don't
stop.
get
It
second
just didn't
seasons.
stop. It just went.
I want to
right
go
through
to
it, right through it.
Akihabara
It just
again,
sped
and
through.
I want to check out
Sped
to
right
see,
through the
like,
red light.
is there a stand that's advertising this? Like, is there, it's like, get your Kakariko Bed and Breakfast for Spirits badges or pins.
I don't
you know
understand.
what? This is set up so that it is supposed to be like on every body pillow and like every poster, and like it is so set up for like fans. But there's nothing to be a fan about. It's just so bad. So anyway, that's our worst show. And our worst character is literally everyone in Gundam Build Divers. Are you guys satisfied with that?
It balances
I
out.
think it
Yes.
balances out. Okay. All right. Before we go into what we're excited about, let's talk about our guilty pleasures of the season. All right. Cole,
Yeah, I'll kick it off.
do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, it's Gundam Build Divers. Now, there's nothing pleasurable here, but I continue to watch it every week. So there's got to be
It's
something.
just guilt.
It's just
That's
guilt.
just guilt. He has like
There's no
survivor's
pleasure.
guilt at this point.
'Cause, yeah, is there anything that like I'm grasping to here? The Gundam brand. I like Gundam brand. Yeah, it's good. And nothing else.
You're strong.
I haven't picked up a single model from this series. I refuse.
Whenever Cole watches Build Divers, someone should take a video of him, and then as he's just watching it, do a slow zoom in and have the Mad Men theme song playing, because that would accurately describe Cole's state of mind.
I want it to be like a synced part where it's me watching the intro, and the moment Wolf Job appears, just what is my face?
That's going up on Twitter. We gotta do it. It's coming
we
up.
have
It's
to do
coming
it
up.
later.
It's gonna go up on our
Look
channels.
forward to that.
All our brand new channels, which we'll talk about later.
But yeah, that gets my guilty pleasure because, like, out of all the trash anime, it's the only one I continued. And, like, I firmly put down everything else I hated except this.
All right. Okay, Remington.
Yes.
I'm really glad you picked this as your guilty pleasure because I want to hear all about it because I actually avoided it. So, Remington, what's your guilty pleasure?
So my guilty pleasure is Last Period, The Story of an Endless Spiral, which... See, the reason why it's my guilty pleasure is because normally, and I hate on these a lot, I talk about when a show feels like it's made for a mobile game, and I hate that. But this show is made for a mobile game. But it's different in the sense that it is very much just a parody of that mobile game genre. It is the Konosuba of mobile game anime.
Okay.
Yeah, it is very fun. So it's about these characters who are just like random adventurers, and they all work for a company. And this company just one day goes bankrupt. So to try and rebuild their branch, they have to start taking on these really terrible odd jobs, which are all these like mobile game style quests of just like kill 20 enemies, and they're just terrible at it. And at the same time, they do so many direct things, like they'll get their attacks through like gotcha pulls. And they'll get like the worst pull despite having put in all their money and effort into it. And it's really fun. And I'm just like, I hate supporting these mobile games things because there are so many. But when it knows that it's trash, I love it that much more.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a comedy just makes it that much easier to digest. So for me, it's a guilty pleasure.
So, all right. So, should I watch it?
I think you should give it a try.
I watch a lot of trash, so
yeah,
I can probably tolerate
that's
this,
the thing.
right?
I think you should give it a try.
All right. How about these guys? Should they watch it?
I think... you know what? Actually, I think both of you might get it because Preston loves Fate Grand Order.
Oh God!
So you'll understand poor drop rate.
And I'll be here for the stupid Konosuba stuff.
Yeah, there is a lot of like Konosuba style humor to it.
I feel like I should be offended at that, but
All right, Preston, what was yours?
Uma Musume, Pretty Girl Derby, because I have been like, it's like, oh, there's an anime about horse girls. Click.
Oh well.
Oh, I guess I'm watching this. They're idols? What? This is so weird. This is so weird. Guys, this is weird, right? This is weird. I need to watch more.
We talked about this in the Lost episode.
Like,
We got lost to text.
The thing is that this is a good show. I think this is a good show, and I watched it, but like I feel guilty watching it because it's just so weird.
Yeah, I do not like this show.
But you will download the mobile game.
Yes,
You will
I will.
absolutely
They've
download the
They've
mobile
won me
game.
over in the sense that I want to play the mobile game and get one cute girl and say, "Yeah, I did it." And
Yeah, that's
never
my
play
horse
again.
girl waifu.
Yeah, that is what that mobile game or that anime has done for me. That's all.
Yeah. I you know what? It was my guilty pleasure too. But I figured we all had to have different ones
Yeah, because yours is something I've legit never heard of.
Okay, so mine was... Okay, I have a lot of guilty pleasures, as you guys know. I've already admitted to, like, 2 of them. But, so, a while back, I started watching Selector. Alright, so Selector is a card game anime where these girls just play this just generic, just basic battle card game.
Crazy Eights.
Yes.
The original battle card game.
Basically, they're playing crazy. No, okay, so they have it's just like literally any other battle card game called Weak Sauce. The game is called. But then I know I couldn't get over the name.
You said it, and I thought weak sauce.
That's
And I'm
what
like,
I kept trying to say. I'm like,
really? Every time you win, you just call somebody weak sauce.
yeah. I every time I pronounce it, I'm like, it's weak sauce. Weak
Is
sauce.
it wick sauce?
Weak sauce? No, in English, it's weak sauce.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm serious. Anyway, so they play this game, and then they get they learn that they become selectors, which means that they can go into battle. And if they go to battle, they and become like the top, and they win all of the battles, they can become they can get any wish they want in the world granted. But as it goes on, it gets like stupidly dark. We find out that like it's obviously not all it's cracked up to be, and there's some pretty like heavy, dark scenes about people who are like, one of the characters is this idol, and the force of fame and the pressure of this being a selector like eventually cracks her, and she becomes like an insane, like almost like serial killer kind of character.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it gets really good. So anyway, this season was the third season of it, called Lost Storage. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, because it's like Lost and Storage
I
put
think
together.
it's low storage from the way you typed it.
It's like, no, but the way they
Lost-
show it, no, the way it's like Lost.
Oh, is it really dumb
Storage.
font?
Yeah, it's really stupid font. So Lost
yeah.
Storage incited weak
Fonts
sauce.
are ruining anime.
Is it in
Which
Comic
is-
Sense?
The second season, there was a previous season of Lost Storage, and I can't remember like the second subtitle of it, and I should have written it down. I would have been more prepared if I was. But anyway, this is the second season of that, just sort of continuing the story. And basically what happens is, okay, obviously, at the beginning, it has a finale. There's an ending to the finality to the whole thing. And it starts up again out of nowhere with this series. I feel it's a little bit contrived. It's not. It has some real like. They have like real stakes that are like attached, but they're not as like dark as the first season. So it's not the strongest. If you're gonna get started, I would definitely, you have to start with Selector. And you might be a little bit disappointed as you continue on with it, but for what it is and what I expected to be, it was a lot better than it was supposed to be. So I've continued that for like 3 seasons now, and I feel bad. Not as bad as I do with my like idol anime, but I gotta say, I actually recommend this one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think you guys should check it out. At least check out Selector.
Yeah, I at
Yeah,
least want to
at the
give
very-
the first
yeah.
season.
I'm down for
Selected-
Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 Redux.
It's Yu-Gi-Oh! With girls, okay?
Well,
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Has girls.
Only
I
girls.
don't know why I went into that voice.
Actually,
Yeah.
the second, and I don't remember if the first season has boys in it at all. I know the second season has
Get
1,
'em out.
2,
Get 'em out.
3.
I don't
There's
want
3
'em.
boys, and then some minor ones that are introduced later, but they don't.
Oh, we
really
want to
count.
see girls
Yeah.
playing weak
But
sauce.
don't. I know, right? See, it's the easiest thing to make fun of, but when you actually watch it, it's way better than you expected. Kind of like Uma Musume, which was again way better than it should have been. All right, guys. I think that's. Have we got everybody? Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
we got
Okay,
it.
so what are we looking forward to this next season?
So
So
summer
summer's
2018.
Summer 2018's already started, right?
Yeah.
So what are we looking forward to? Remington, you want to start us off?
honestly, nothing I'm really looking forward
Oh,
to.
it looks like trash.
There is
That's
really
a 180-degree
nothing.
turn from
yeah,
10
there
seconds
is
ago.
really nothing I'm looking forward to. So I went with something that will just be easy on the eyes for me, and that's Harukana Receive.
Beach volleyball.
Easy
See, I
on
was
the
looking
eyes.
at that because I feel like it's going to be a fun, cutesy sports anime, but
It's
it also
not.
looks bad.
It is not a cutesy sports
Yeah,
anime.
no.
Is
It is the ass the anime.
Yeah.
It is. Let's talk about butts.
I thought.
Oh,
Is it
this is
Senran
Keijo,
Kagura is
Keijo
like-
2.0?
Yeah, I thought I'm just gonna join the cult of ideology and
Wow.
pick Harukana Receive. It's really the only thing worth watching.
Okay.
God.
Wow, you're really selling it.
Couldn't even
I
pick
am
the
excited.
badminton show.
Yeah, you could have picked the badminton show.
Yeah, but what if it's not good?
What if it's
You
not
picked
versatile?
this.
Because at least with this, I'm guaranteed a good element. What am I gonna do? Look at the
Anime
badminton?
butts?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Lisa, what is yours?
Oh, okay. So I picked Mr. Tonegawa Middle Management Blues. Woo! All right. I don't actually know much about it.
It's not an ass
What-
show.
It's not an ass show. That's all I know. I think it has to do with So the main character is the successful number 2 man of a group that is controlled by the Yakuza boss. And so basically our main character has to go through, make sure all his boss's outstanding loans are paid off and everyone's in line. He's kind of like, he's got to basically put everyone together. So basically it seems like it's going to be a chapter episode kind of thing. Like there's going to be, this happens this week and this happens that week. But what turned me on to the whole thing was that it looked like the animation style looked ridiculous. And I'm looking now, and I'm looking at scores of reviews that are coming out for the first 3 episodes, because they just aired the last episode, and it's looking like it's not really liked. Although, it looks like it gets better or worse. I don't know. The animation style, I don't know.
Well,
This is a side story of Kaiji, which is actually something that I recommended a while back.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
actually
I'm seeing
related.
that right now, but I had no idea.
That's cool.
Yeah, Tonegawa is actually a character that shows up. He's part of the evil faction in Kaiji that he's trying to get away from and stuff. But, yeah, it's kind of like if Kaiji was Breaking Bad, this is Better Call Saul.
This looks like it's got some really funny elements to it, but maybe I'm totally off on it. I don't know. The clips that I saw look like there's a lot of room for, like, good comedy.
Yeah,
So,
but I'm usually down for something like this.
yeah. So, okay. Anyway, because I know you picked this one, too.
Yeah.
You're looking forward to this one as well. All right. Okay, and Cole, what are you looking forward to?
Chio School Road.
That looks exciting from what I've seen.
Yeah, so this is another comedy series that I've picked, just because literally there's not much to pick in this season. But Chio School Road is basically about this like antisocial girl who loves to game, but on her way to school, oh gosh, she finds every like antisocial thing that's just terrible. Of like, oh, there's a guy in my way. What am I gonna do? And she like imagines like this Assassin's Creed kind of like moment in time. She has to go and deliver a certain package to someone, gets totally lost and thinks she's in a different game world as well. But it's just a lighthearted comedy series that I really like as a manga. So I'm really excited to see how it shows up as an anime.
And just from the clips that I've seen, because this was on my radar too, and just from some of the clips that I've seen, like there's this great conversation that she's having with her friend about like her friend really hates couples.
Yes.
And it's just and so her friend really hates couples. And makes her very, very clearly known by like plowing through them on the sidewalk while Chio's trying to like
their hands.
Chio's trying to be really supportive, and in her mind it's like, you're a horrible person, you awful person, and it's just this back and forth about them, what they're saying in front of each other and what they're actually thinking, and it's just like they are tearing each other apart, and it's just great.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that too. So I'm glad you picked that.
That's
Preston. And Preston.
Well, unlike everyone who seems to say there is nothing good this season, there is one truly great anime this season that I've been looking forward to for well over a year. It is Grand Blue. It's a diving anime. It's a perfectly normal diving anime about a diving club at a university where nothing ever goes badly and everyone is a law-abiding and respecting student. I'm joking. It's like... It is so funny just reading the thing that I've been waiting so long to watch it, and I watched the first episode and it's everything I could have hoped for. I believe the director has worked on Gintama in the past and has that
nice.
visual
That's
style of
exciting.
humor.
Yeah.
Like I showed Cole and Remington some clips from it. Like, it's a very joke heavy show, and from what I've seen, it's very well animated. I know we were talking about Hinamatsuri being like the best comedy of the spring. I think this is the best. Definitely. Well, not like there's much competition anyway.
Yeah.
But
There's
this
no
is
competition.
this is probably going to be the best comedy of summer, and I'd argue it's going to be the best comedy of the year. I really look forward to seeing how this develops.
Okay.
And if any listeners out there, check out the Grand Blue manga. Like, try to read it if you can. It's fantastic, and just watch the anime. It's so good. I'm gonna need some liquor. I want some liquor after it just to celebrate it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. And you were talking to us about this last week, and it sounds like something I think we absolutely have to have on.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking it.
From all of the clips I've seen so far, it feels very much in the same vein as like Prison School in humor, except like it just doesn't take the sexuality part to it.
Well, aside from all the guys who strip to their boxers and start drinking
That's
vodka
true.
and whiskey.
That's true.
I mean, that's a perfect depiction.
I mean,
of college
I'm sorry,
guys.
it's not vodka and whiskey. It's water.
Yes.
It's water.
Yeah, it's just water.
Why is it flammable? It's just combustible.
Yeah, combustible water.
I think that wraps it up, guys.
I think it does.
So, what do we think overall about this spring season?
Spring season, I think it was very good. I
Yeah.
think there were a
It had
lot
a
of
few
high quality.
gems.
Like, there was a lot of anime.
Yeah.
So I think it tended towards, most of them were like poor
Yeah.
to average, but they also brought with it a large number of high quality ones, and even a decent number of like pretty good ones, like
Yeah.
the Musume and stuff.
And there's a whole bunch we didn't actually talk about. Like we didn't talk.
Yeah.
We've been kind of putting on the back burner because we want to save it for a special episode, but we didn't talk about Persona 5 at all. Like we didn't even bring this up into the mix. And I think once we get into the Persona actually podcast, we'll explain why.
Yeah.
But
We also didn't talk about the second half of Grand Crest Senkai. Yeah.
For good reason.
we
Yeah.
stopped. I thought we agreed to just stop watching.
It was
I listened to that episode the other day where we discussed it because I was the one who nominated it, and you could chart over the course of 50 minutes. I was like, this show isn't half bad. To the end, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. As I started reflecting on it. It was a bad show.
It was a bad show.
Oh,
it was a
God.
really
I remember
bad show.
how I treated. Was his name Leo?
No.
Theo.
Theo.
Every complaint I have like this stupid voice for him. But the reason why that episode holds a special place in my heart is because that's where I recommended Garci's Way.
But you know what, though? I was right. It is a mobile game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a mobile game.
Totally
God.
a mobile game. I mean, like, we didn't talk about, like, we got another season of Card Capture Sakura. We didn't really talk about. We got more seasons of, like, Naruto for Boruto or whatever.
Naruto's
We
dad.
got this season.
Boruto's dad is very
Boruto's dad's
burrito.
burrito.
Burrito and nacho.
That burrito ninja, he's pretty good. We also didn't talk about, like, we touched a little bit on the season of My Hero Academia.
I could have done a whole thing on the season of
Yeah.
My Hero Academia. So
It's so good.
It was so good.
so good.
And next season looks like it's even better.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm so into this show. That's the thing.
I mean, I am always into shonen, but it is so quality. It takes all of the best elements of shonen and really puts them forward.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, one thing we should have talked about was the last season of Darling in the Franxx. The last half, the last
don't
part of
have
the season.
The
about
train
Darling in the Franxx. The train wreck.
the
that
derail.
Was, yeah, that you guys were all championing in the.
Oh, God.
We were all in the first class just getting ready.
Darling in the Franxx, I'll give you the synopsis right here in a chart form. It starts in the middle, it goes down, it goes up, crash!
It gets so.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't have to talk about that one because it's over now, so we're good. All right, guys. I think so. Next week we're gonna have a special episode, and then we're gonna go right into. Well, we're just waiting for a few other shows to buff in, and then we're gonna go into. I think, we're gonna go into Cole's picks. All right, and he's gonna surprise us during the special episode.
Gundam
So
Build Divers Season 2.
No!
Look forward to it. I'm kidding. Or am I?
I don't think.
There's gonna for sure be an OVA.
Dude, he's been.
course.
It's his guilty pleasure. It'll be the easiest thing for him to pick.
yeah.
I hope it's all about the mouse.
Shut up. I had enough of your attitude.
I want a Wolf Job centric season.
No!
I want to find out where Wolf Job came from.
His past, his family.
I want 3 episodes.
I want the
devoted-
wolf pack.
You know what? I want a 6-episode arc. That's what I want.
Wrap it up before I go insane.
And how did Wolf Job meet Maggie? Find out in this next 10-episode arc, featuring only 2 characters.
And 3 of them are.
God, I hate the show.
I want 4 of the episodes to be recap episodes. Well, guys, thank you so much, and listeners, thank you so much for listening to this marathon. And we've got some exciting news. We're now available on Podbean, so you can, if you go to podbean.com, you can search up the Anime Research Society. You can find us there, subscribe to us, and follow us. See all our past episodes, and all our new episodes are coming from that. We're also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast, and Google Play. You can also still find us on YouTube and at CG Magazine and any other favorite podcast app that I probably didn't. We're basically everywhere, so you can just call into the darkness and we'll just come running. Anyway, you can listen to the continuing adventures of the Anime Research Society on any of those platforms. Do you have a question or a comment for the Society? You can tweet us at A_R_Society, or you can find us all on Twitter. Cole, what's your Twitter?
At Kaiser_Watson.
And Preston, what's yours?
At Preston Doza, spelled D-O-Z-S-A.
And Remington?
At Remington Joseph.
And I'm at Lisa Awesome with no E's. You can also like the Anime Research Society on Facebook and leave us a comment. Maybe what would we research next?
Gundam Build Divers
What
Season 2.
What do you think about Gundam Build Divers? Are you a Build Diver fan? Are you a Build Diver?
Also,
We'd love to hear from you.
Also, how lit was Broly?
Yo,
Yeah.
Broly was lit.
So lit.
I gotta go watch this thing, so I'm gonna sign off now.
Yeah.
So from everyone here at the Anime Research Society, happy researching.